Welcome to the Collision Hub News Network, your monthly source for collision repair news, events, and the information you need to keep your business moving ahead. In this episode, Insurer fined for steering violation in Montana, photo estimating approved by Delaware Department of Insurance, Takata airbag recall reaches critical tipping point, and Allstate Insurance announces premium increase due to repair cost. These stories and much more, so let's get started.
This is CHNN.
Here's the deal, painters. Holding on to complicated metal spray guns that are difficult to clean just doesn't make sense anymore. The 3M AccuSpray system with PPS not only makes your life easier, it puts money back in your pocket. That's our science applied to your life.
Fix Auto Canada recently announced it has acquired Prime Car Care Group, which includes brands such as 5 Gears Auto Care, Novus Glass, Speedy Auto Service, and Minute Muffler and Brake. Steve Leal, the president and CEO of Fix Auto Canada, stated that he feels the move will create a unique opportunity for horizontal integration in the automotive repair sector. Prime Car Care Group currently operates 142 franchise locations in Canada. The Fix Auto Canada agreement may seem familiar to those in the industry. Last year, Driven Brands, a Charlotte-based company, purchased CarStar, a network of independently owned collision repair shops. The acquisition greatly expanded Driven Brands' footprint in the industry. More recently, Driven Brands acquired Take 5 Oil Change, which operates 65 quick oil change facilities in 9 states. The already extensive Takata airbag recall has expanded once again following the death of a 17-year-old Texas high school student. Huma Hanif was killed almost instantly by shrapnel when the driver's side airbag ruptured following a minor rear-end collision on March 31st. Hanif's death is the 10th American death attributed to the faulty airbags since the recalls began. At the beginning of May, the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration said it is expanding the recall to include 35 to 40 million airbags, adding to the 28.8 million airbags already recalled. The agency expressed a sense of urgency over the recalls. It said the root cause of the problem lays in a combination of time, environmental moisture, and fluctuating high temperatures contributing to the degradation of the amount of ammonium nitrate propellant in the inflators. The NHTSA is working with automakers to determine a rollout schedule for the recall, prioritizing high-risk vehicles. Everyone who has received a recall is encouraged to act quickly to resolve the issue. To find out if your vehicle or a customer's vehicle in your shop is on the safety recall list, please check safercar.gov. A subsidiary of insurance giant QBE has been fined by the state of Montana for improper and sloppy steering practices. According to the Montana Commission of Securities and Insurance State Auditor's Office, a do not use list was implemented by Uniguard for non-preferred shops. According to CSI documentation, the fines came after a Uniguard policyholder's father used a non-DRP shop to obtain an estimate following a collision. A representative of Uniguard said if the undesirable shop performed the repairs, that the policyholder would be responsible for any amount owed that exceeded an estimate provided by a preferred body shop. The state determined although a repair must not cost more than is reasonable, a non-DRP shop may cost more than a direct repair program shop would cost. A January 7th notice of action was ignored by Uniguard. In March, Democratic Insurance Commissioner Monica Linden wrote in, ordering a $25,000 fine and cease and desist order. Enterprise Holdings will combine the ARMS product platform, Performance Gateway, and SynCast into one platform, ARMS Business Solutions. Designed to bring additional value to industry partners through technology and innovation, the product is said to solve current and emerging issues in the claims handling segment. According to Enterprise spokesperson Lisa Martini, these solutions will be focused on encasing customer experience, creating efficiencies, improving claims outcomes, and reducing expense. The merging entities are expected to create a dynamic and comprehensive technology for insurance and collision repair partners and has been under development since last year. The launch is expected this summer.
Paints and coatings. It's all we do. It's why we're a leader in developing the industry's most advanced coating systems and constantly reinvesting in innovation to make it even better. Putting the latest technology into the hands of today's best painters. giving them world-class skills, hands-on training, and real-world experience in our state-of-the-art learning and development centers. Plus, online courses available anytime and virtual learning that brings live instructor-led training right to your team wherever they work, giving you the tools you need to help increase your profits and improve your bottom line. Axalta, the ultimate in coding systems, the ultimate in training, the ultimate edge for you and your shop. Get it now at axaltalearningcampus.com.
iCar has vowed to more than double the number of shops trained in 2015. Last year, iCar taught more than 9,000 collision repair businesses. The organization expects to increase the number to 19,000 this year, with an additional 9,000 returning for continuing education. According to the Census Bureau, only 27% of businesses entrusted with restoring cars attended classes in the last year. An additional 19,000 shops would put the industry up to 56% of shops that have received training in 2016. iCar CEO and President John Van Alstyne said in a statement that technical training contributes to complete, safe, and quality repairs. Technical training can mean the difference between a thriving business and merely surviving, he said. iCar research found gold-class collision repair businesses outpaced non-gold shops on key performance indicators in the first quarter of this year. This is a trend the company found in 2015 as well. In total, more than 62,000 students enrolled in an iCar course last year. iCar, who tested more than 8,000 on steel and aluminum welding and steel sectioning for certification last year, also expanded the program to vocational technical schools. The organization warned the industry that 69% of technicians lack any formal welding training, even on steel. This year, iCar has also added hands-on rivet bonding and MIG brazing courses. Following regulation changes in Virginia and Pennsylvania, the state of Delaware announced it too will allow insurers to appraise auto damage using only images. The new rule replaces Regulation 602, which states the appraisers could only obtain repair estimates through personal inspection. The regulation change was first proposed in January. It is expected to provide customers and insurers with a more convenient way to submit a claim. Detractors of the policy change say despite the new convenience, photo-only appraisal could lead to missed damage and uncompensated policyholders. To talk more about this is CJ Presbull, the co-founder and president of Snapsheet, the industry's leading photo-based appraisal company. CJ, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Mindy. I'm really excited to be here.
At the beginning of the year, only a handful of states still disallowed photo-only appraisals. Why have these states held out so long?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that these states have held out. I think those laws have been in place for quite a long time. And actually, if you think about it, now that photo appraisals have become so prevalent, I think they've adapted fairly quickly to the changing needs of the consumer. So I don't really think they've been holding out. I think they just had these laws on the books. No other states had the laws on the books, and they're changing them now that it's actually become a more mainstream inspection method.
How does the Delaware rule change compare to other states who have recently changed their policies to include photo-only appraisals?
So the Delaware ruling is very similar to what happened in Pennsylvania and Virginia. We've seen a lot of similarities in the laws, and I think it's exactly in line with those other two changes.
What are some of the benefits to photo-only appraisals, and do these outweigh the risks?
I wouldn't really say there's too many risks to photo appraisals. The benefits are definitely the customer gets to choose the inspection option. It makes the process go a lot quicker, and it allows for a lot more documentation a lot faster, so carriers can actually triage claims more effectively and find the vehicles that should be getting repaired really quickly or should be getting totaled out and that should not be on the road. So I would say there's a lot of benefits to photo inspection that drive further efficiencies in the process and better customer satisfaction.
What happens when a photo-only appraisal fails to document underlying physical damage?
Well, it'll be similar to any other photo inspection that happens across the country, or any physical inspection for that matter. You write estimates based off of all the information that's available at the time. If a car goes to a repair facility to be repaired, then you actually look at any additional operations that are required to repair that vehicle and discuss the supplement exactly with the body shop. So this is really no different than the way that appraisals are done today. Our supplement rate is almost exactly the same as in-person supplement rates. So I don't think there's going to be too many changes. The only change in Delaware is if a body shop really does not want to discuss the process by photo, they have the right to request and require that a physical inspector come out to the shop.
And in your opinion, are photo-only appraisals a good move for the collision repair industry?
I absolutely think that photo-only appraisals are a great move for the collision industry. I think it's very good for the consumers to help them have a choice as to how they'd like to get their appraisals done and help it get done a little bit quicker for them. But also for the collision industry, we help body shops do estimates, options, and condition reports for total loss vehicles where you may not have the resources to look at a car that's been sitting at your shop for a couple of days. And I think we also try to work very closely with the shops to get and provide back information very, very quickly for any car that's actually getting repaired. We try not to hold up the process at all, so you don't have your car up on a rack for 3 days waiting for an appraiser to come out there. We'll try to get the information done and get an agreed price settled very, very quickly. So on the whole, I think that photos and the whole photo process just have a ton of value to every single key stakeholder in the industry, including the repair facilities.
Thank you again, CJ, for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been great.
The Collision Repair Education Foundation 2016 Career Fair Tour is off to an exciting start. With events already completed in Seattle, Denver, Chicago, and St. Louis, the foundation is striving to bridge the gap between high school and college collision students and entry-level positions in the industry.
What we wanted to do was be the bridge between the students and the industry and those that are looking to employ these students. That's why we're here in Denver, is to help bring together local students, both high school and college, and help get them introduced to industry employers. And it's not just body shops. As you can see around here, we've got insurance companies, tool companies, paint companies, glass companies. All these companies are looking to meet these students and hopefully connect them with career opportunities. And we're doing this around the country, helping to be that bridge between the students and those industry employers that are looking to meet them.
They are learning all the newest techniques and materials that vehicles are going to be made out of moving forward. They are the future of the collision repair industry. So we're trying to get them to get an understanding of what it takes to get their foot in the door with a large collision repair provider and hopefully create some opportunity for them.
These events are really important to school because sometimes students don't understand or don't know all their possibilities and availability that there's out there. And by making these available, this is a great opportunity for them to see what's out there.
Additional events in Atlanta, Boston, Columbus, and Minneapolis are planned for the remainder of the year. If your business is looking for new employees, this event is a great way to meet the best and brightest students in our industry. For more information, visit the Foundation website. Allstate said this month that the company plans to increase rates to manage a 7.5% increase in auto claim severity. Brand President Matt Winter said newer cars with more complex repairs were contributing to the clear acceleration in property damage and collision severity. Typically, the industry sees about a 2.1% gross and 2.4% paid increase per quarter due to inflation. Winter noted that the auto rate increases have been outpacing loss costs. Allstate's average written premium was up 4.8% last quarter and remains profitable when comparing premiums versus losses. The company brought in $5.2 billion in earned premiums and paid out $3.9 billion in losses. You've heard the saying, it's not how you start, but how you finish that matters. But this month in our estimating segment, Kristen explains why your estimating success is based on how you start.
Ask any champion and they'll tell you that their success is all the work they do before the game. The hours of practice, conditioning, and research they do on an opponent is what ultimately leads to a winning game day performance. Estimating is no different. The work and effort that you put in before entering the line items on your estimate is what will make for a successful and profitable outcome. You know, it's so tempting with the pace and performance expectations on today's estimators to just grab your notebook or tablet and head to the car. But if you want to go from good to great, you're going to need a solid pre-inspection routine. First, review and know the loss report or the facts of the accident. You know, if you went to a doctor complaining of pain in your arm, they would ask you a few questions, like when did it start hurting and what were you doing at the time? Having all the facts around an accident can help you identify the areas your inspection should focus on. Important facts such as moving or parked. Did the car go off-road? Did the car slide after impact? If the customer is present, ask some questions. If they're not, take the time to make a call. I can't tell you how many times I've been called in to sort out a disagreement between a shop and an insurer over what is or isn't accident related, only to have it settled with a 5-minute call to the customer. Second, have ready and review the OEM repair information, tech bulletins, and recalls. I know this sounds simple, but in a survey recently completed by Mike Anderson with Collision Advice, he found that only 16% of repairers accessed OEM information every time. What I hear most often from repairers and insurers on why they don't access OEM information is two-part. Many say they don't know where to start, and others just say the cost is too great. Well, let's be honest. There are many ways to access OEM repair information these days, and it's never been simpler or more affordable. In fact, there are many free resources. Besides taking advantage of some of the estimating add-on programs available, check out the iCar Repairability portal. You'll find a variety of information available, including restraint system matrix, partial panel replacement guides, and videos that'll help you navigate the OEM procedure websites. Also, don't forget to download the OEM Technical Information Matrix that iCar has compiled, and it's free. At a glance, you'll know exactly what information each manufacturer has available and how to access it. But once you have the information, make sure you review it to ensure your estimate is 100% accurate. Can you repair, or is replacement required? Many OEMs have issued do not repair statements on parts such as bumper covers due to material advancements in safety equipment on today's vehicles. My next question when reviewing the OEM procedure is, does my shop have the equipment required for this repair? Are there any special materials such as rivets and adhesives that will be required and should be added to my estimate? Are there any warnings on required operations such as diagnostics that must be performed in this repair? Do I have the necessary equipment to perform those scans, or will a sublet be needed to a dealership? Knowing all of this information will not only help me write a complete and accurate estimate for my customer, but it will also help me plan the repair so as not to add any unnecessary delays and compounding rental expenses to the claim. Third, you need to have all the parts information available to you. I've been working with the data providers for over 20 years, and while each of them work tirelessly to provide the best product, no estimating database is perfect. Many shops keep multiple systems up on their desk, going back and forth between them, trying to combine the databases to find all the parts needed for a repair. For me, I like to keep the OEM direct parts information handy so that I can review and see the exact same diagrams the parts department at the dealership is seeing. We've got a great spreadsheet that was supplied by Jake and the team from Collision Diagnostics. It's the perfect go-to resource and is always up on my second screen as we work through the blueprinting and estimating of each vehicle. Again, pay special attention to any non-reusable parts such as bolts, trim pieces, and even sun visors. If you want a copy of this spreadsheet, click a link in the description of this month's CHNN episode and download your own copy. And be sure to thank the team at Collision Diagnostics. The last step is make the time. I remember growing up in the shop and handwriting estimates with my father out of the old crash books. For us, we played a game as the car would drive into the parking lot. That game was Guess the Damage. He would yell out 1,000 and I'd come back with a different amount. No matter how hard I tried, when the estimate was complete, well, he was right and I had missed the mark. There was a time when estimating damage was simpler and ballparking a repair amount could get you pretty close to the accurate final estimate. However, well, those days are gone. With the advancements in materials, design, and electronics, estimating today's collision damage takes time. I get it. For shop estimators, you have a lot full of cars, and it seems every insurer wants their estimate in 24 hours. For field adjusters, it's a stack of 30 cars to see today, and you know tomorrow it's only going to bring you 30 more. However, think about the time lost each day completing needless supplements and re-inspections. Turns out that other lesson Dad taught me about doing it right the first time is also true. Our customers deserve our best, not the best we have right now. Slow down, gather all of your tools and information, take your time, think through the repair, not the damage, and write the best sheet on every car. Taking the time needed on each estimate will not only improve your accuracy, but it's also going to improve your profitability. Try implementing these 4 critical steps to your pre-inspection routine and make sure you join us next month on CHNN for more estimating tips. Thanks.
The Estimate Check Tool, powered by Autotech's industry-leading predictive analytics, eases the estimating process through unique claim analysis. The tool provides an incredibly fast, line-by-line review of your estimate by pulling data from over 28 million processed claims. The Advanced Rules engine also considers repair materials, and labor that might need to be added based on your decision as the repair expert. The common shop supplies, materials, and operations that apply to nearly every car are also scanned for on the estimate. Each estimator has the ability to correct the suggested operation, add the forgotten items to the estimate, or ignore and proceed, still giving them complete control over the estimate. The result? We're making the right decisions for the customer and industry stakeholders with more accurate estimates. And for me, we're recovering all the expenses associated with each repair. And that means we'll be here to service more customers year after year.
In 2015, OSHA's National Emphasis Program worked to raise awareness within the collision repair industry on the safety and compliance issues with skin contact by isocyanates. OSHA placed a large focus on paint suits within collision repair centers. This emphasis left shops wondering more about the functions and protections of paint suits within their facilities. Here's more on paint suits from Chris Springer and Tony Larimer of Dan-Am Corporation.
An important part in a paint shop is when you're spraying paint, obviously you're involved in a product that could have some contaminants in it for our systems, and we want to make sure that you're keeping yourself covered up as a painter, whether that be wearing gloves, proper respiratory protection. But a paint suit is a third and very important part of that process. It does a couple things. It keeps you protected against isocyanates, of course, in clear coat, but also in the resins and pigments and everything else that comes, whether you're spraying water or solvent. You really need to keep your skin covered up. When you're choosing a paint suit, though, you really want to look at another thing, the legislative part of it. OSHA has set standards that they require to the paint suits to meet those legislative guidelines, and this suit meets that. It doesn't allow the atomized paint to go through the paint suit, keeps you protected. So, but there's several other advantages on the painter's perspective that this suit is a great option.
One of the most noticeable things is the black pinstripes that are through it. That's actually carbon fiber that's woven into the suit that helps eliminate static. It has two back pockets, so you can keep a tack rag in your back pocket. Has some side vents here, so that when you're done spraying, you can unzip the sides and let some air in and cool off. One of the best features that I like is it has an inside pocket that also has a pen slot right inside here that I can keep a pen or a marker in to mark previous damage or to add something to an RO. Has a hood to keep your head covered. We try to keep as much of our skin covered as possible to protect us from those solvents and isocyanates. It has some Velcroed wrist straps so that you can keep your wrist bound prior to putting on some gloves, and you can tuck the suit right into your gloves. It has a four-way stretch back. It's a flexi back, so that when you're down low painting a rocker or getting into some of them awkward positions that you have to get into to spray inside a trunk or a low part on a vehicle, it has enough give so that you're not getting bound up.
Well, I think a couple of other things to mention. There are obviously other choices in paint suits, and in our brand, we have a couple of lesser priced suits, but they don't have the carbon fiber. They actually have a coating that's been applied to the suit when it's manufactured to give it an anti-static resistance. The downside to suits like that, which majority of them are, is that the minute that you wash it, throw it in a washing machine, then the anti-static treatment is gone. You got to be a little bit cautious when you wash them then, and maybe add a fabric softener or something like that to really read the label to make sure there's not a lot of silicone in the softener. Or things that could cause contamination. So that's a downside to having those. Other suits that we see out there in the industry are made from disposable suits, simply don't have the breathability that this material does. And this material gives us the safety, it gives us a protection from that paint, but it allows you to at least let some of the heat out, and that makes it a much more comfortable suit. Most people choose paint suits for a couple things. One, for protection, but number two, it's a budget-based decision sometimes, and you have to decide. What I like about this suit is you can wash these things multiple times and wear them long-term and keep using them. One other feature that's important is the two-way zipper, which is nice that if you have to reach in your pocket and get something out, it makes it a little easier to do that. So those are benefits that the inexpensive disposable suits don't have. But yet again, it is definitely based to a painter preference. But if you want the best in protection, you want the best in comfort. The one Chris is wearing here, which is our Dan-Am Pro Series, is the best choice.
You should join us next month where we'll show you more features and benefits of equipment and processes for your shop to become more successful.
In today's collision repair environment, you need a partner who cares about meeting the needs of your customers as much as you, and one that understands the pace of your business. The training and dedication of our 24,000 employees allows Hertz to provide world-class customer service and seamless integration into your workflow while providing the daily support you need most. That is why we promise to do whatever it takes to not only keep up, but to move ahead. Hertz is ready. Are you?
This is Michael. Michael runs an auto body repair shop. To keep an eye on customer satisfaction, Michael uses all the best tools available. With Update Plus, Michael is able to keep good communication with his customers. Michael is also able to get real-time feedback from his customer the same day they pick up their vehicle. With these positive reviews, Michael is already using the feedback to help improve his shop. But what if he can do more with this valuable information? Introducing AutoBodyReview.com, the site that will help your customers find the best body shops in their area. How? Shops can make a profile on AutoBodyReview.com, which includes pictures, a description, industry certifications, and even allows potential customers to make appointments, which means more business for shops just like Michael's. AutoBodyReview.com will immediately display those verified customer reviews to his AutoBodyReview.com profile, so all that valuable information gets put to use. Get your AutoBodyReview.com profile today.
Thank you for watching this month's episode of Collision Hub News. We hope you'll make CHNN your source for the collision repair news and information you need. Want more in-depth coverage of stories you heard about today? Please visit Repair Driven News, your daily source for information and editorial features for the collision repair industry. If you need to catch up on past episodes of CHNN, visit our YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss another edition.
This program is brought to you through the support of these sponsors. This is CHNN.